Today, I want to welcome every single one of you to a new series here on the channel. This series is going to be very different from any other videos I've ever posted. Me and one of my friends have decided to undergo a very large building project, and I'm going to document it for all of you. I know all my videos so far have either been about mini games or survival let's plays, but this is hopefully going to outshine every single video on my channel to date. In the beginning of this video, there's some minor chunk issues. I recorded this using replay mod, and for some reason, some of the chunks would not load in the replay. Hopefully this doesn't happen again for the rest of the series. This is the series that I put the most effort into, so without further ado, welcome to the land of Esmora. I do have some more explaining to do though. This project started before I decided to record and document it all for you. Because of this, I do not have the castle, bridge, or most of the mountains being built. I'm truly sorry for this disappointment, but I do have some good news pertaining to this. This is just a small portion of the true build. The land of Esmora is an entire continent, not just this one stronghold, and this is possibly the smallest major city that will be built in the series. We have big plans for this series that I will share with you in a later video, but for now it shall remain a mystery. Today, I'm going to be working on the farm. Remember, this is just an introduction to the series, and this is just the tip of the iceberg for what is coming. We're going to be starting off with building the farmhouse. This is one of the bigger houses that is going to be in this stronghold, so it and the rest of the farm will get their own video. Start off by building the base of the house using cobblestone. I usually like to build my homes from the ground up one layer at a time, and you'll probably notice that over the course of the series. After I finished one side of the house, I moved on to the covering over the right side of the house that will eventually house a chicken coop. Next, we replicate the front of the house on the other side. I then add a little bit of detail and shape to the base so that it will look as though it is supporting the next floor. After this, I moved on to the framing of the second floor before realizing that I had not yet completed the base on the backside. I completed the base on the backside and continued with the framing of the second floor. After finishing the framing, I moved on to making a closed-in yard to separate the house from the farm as a whole. I did this by setting up pillars 3 blocks apart and filling the gap with fences. I also could have done this with some type of wall, but I decided that the fences being able to be seen through would make the yard feel less closed off and would fit better with the aesthetic of the build that I was going for. I added some pressure plates and buttons to the top of the pillars just for aesthetics. I then moved on to the second floor walls, which are made out of stripped oak wood. After this, I began to build the roof. The roof design I decided to go for was the feel of a standard barn roof where it was rounded out at the top and steep on the sides. I chose this because I wanted to give off the appearance of a farm, even though it isn't of a barn. Even though it isn't a barn, it's more of a farmhouse. I thought that just giving off the appearance of a barn would make it look better, and it would give off what it's meant to replicate, that feel better. After I finished the roof, I got rid of the log in the middle of the backside of the house and made it to a flat wall. I then added a top section to the wall on the third floor of the house. I put a window and then added a second story porch. I added a doorway and a 3-wide window to the back wall to access the porch. I then cut a window out of the roof to look over the front yard. After making that window, I moved on to the next side of the house and began to make a chimney. I made the chimney out of stone, cobblestone, and stone brook in all of their stair variations. Up at the top of the chimney, which you will see here in a second, I put some campfires surrounded by trapdoors to give off the appearance of a fire burning in the house and giving off smoke out the top. After this, I moved on to the framing of the animal pens, but while I was doing that framing, I decided that I didn't really like solely a cobblestone build as the base. I called my friend over and we both decided that it would look better if it was a mix of cobblestone and stone brick. I did the same thing with the animal pens, which were each 3x3 spaces for each type of animal that I would have in this farmhouse. I lowered the back wall by 1 block just to give off a more rounded feel to the pens. After completing the roof, I decided that I should put some item frames over the pens and decided that I would put each animal head in there. While I was learning how to get the animal heads, my friend began to plant the wheat fields that the farmhouse was built for. I put the animal heads in the item frames, and then for the path we used white wool so we could replace it with an assortment of blocks to make the path look organic. We did this using World Edit. After the path was done, we moved on to making a cellar underneath the house. I decided to make the cellar look as though it was just used for storing extra materials that would not be entered often. I did this by throwing around some barrels and cobwebs to make it look both neglected and efficient. With the cellar done, I decided that the exterior of the build was completely finished, and I decided to move on to the interior. I put in the first and second floors and then added the chimney into the second floor of the house. I used some stairs to shape the chimney. I then moved back down to the first floor and threw some barrels in the corner with a crafting table, and stole an idea from Breeze Home in Skyrim, where the fire pit is built into the ground that you would use for cooking and preparing soup and boiling water and everything like that. I worked for a little bit to find out a design that I was happy with, but I never came up with one. I called my friend in to help me come up with an idea, and eventually I came up with the idea of suspending a cauldron over the fire pit, half filled with water, that could be hung by a chain. I added a shelf on the left side and some lanterns, then I added another shelf on the right side. For now, this would just hold some placeholder items that we would come back and replace later on in the video. I then made the third floor just so I would have an idea of the space that I could utilize for the second floor. I built the stairs as well. I then put in trapdoors to act as a guard for the stairs. Next, I threw in logs in both corners just to make it look as though there was some type of support holding the house up. I put in the trapdoors and buttons just for aesthetics here, but that soon proved to be very distracting for me and my friend. Did some more decorating on the porch outside, and I moved into the inside just to build a simple little table for 2 people, since this is just the house for the people in charge of the farm, or the family in charge of the farm, and the farmhands won't live here. It doesn't need to be a big bench seating. It will do with just being 2 for the main farmer and their spouse. I used some boats to make it so you could actually sit in the table as well. Over on this corner, I put a flower pot and a lantern just to provide some light. And next, I moved up to the 3rd floor. I sectioned off the stairs and I threw some barrels in the corner. Next, I added some light with lanterns and threw up logs to act as supports for the roof. I decided that the bedroom would go in the back corner. And I put a stone brick wall there using the new wall mechanics to sanction off that part of the house. Across from the bed, I threw in some bookshelves and a painting with a trap chest behind it to act as a sort of hidden safe. Next, we moved back down to the 1st floor of the house, where we used invisible item frames to add some more decorations. I used an armor stand in the corner to provide a leather armor, which I felt would be apt for a farmer. We put a clock on the wall, again utilizing the invisible item frames, and then I moved on to the covering, where I decided to try to build a chicken coop. Never done this before in a medieval style, so I attempted my best. I don't think it looks that great, but I would rather have it there than have nothing, so I decided to keep it. After finishing the chicken coop, I began to build a cart out front that could be looked at as the farmer or a farmhand bringing in their yield to either the keep or the village to sell. I let my friend experiment with the design of the cart, and then I moved on to building or to planting the rest of the farmland and the rest of the wheat. We decided to go with wheat because we felt it would be the most aesthetic. I'm going to leave you guys here to enjoy the rest of the time lapse of us planting the wheat, and I will be back with you guys at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe. thank you for watching the video. I spent a long time on this. I know this is going to be a break from the actual scripted portion of the video. Everything else you've heard this video has been completely scripted, but it's going to take a second to go off script. Just want to talk about a few things real quick, including this series and my channel. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video is the video I put the most effort into out of anything. I've never even put this much effort into like 5 videos, and I put it all into this one video. This singular video encapsulates like 3 days worth of building and work, and I'm very truly sorry that we don't have the recording of that or the recording of these mountains to show for it, but in the future it will improve. We will have all of that. Everything that we're building right now I am documenting with replay mod, and hopefully we'll be able to get the next episode of this series out soon. The next thing I want to address is the fact that we hit 100 subscribers. We didn't only hit 100 subscribers, we actually smashed right past it. We hit 139 subscribers, and I don't know how we got to that number. I haven't seen anyone post anything anywhere. I don't think I got a shout out or anything, but it was just an explosion of over 100 subscribers within just a few days, and I'm really appreciative for all of that. And if any of you guys are those new subscribers, I just want to thank you guys for subscribing. And this is the first video that I put out since that boom, and I thought that this would be a good video to put out because of how much of a this is the highest. Wow, I didn't even realize you were in here. But this is the highest quality quality video I've ever put out, so I thought this would be a good video to start with after I got 100 subscribers. Look how smooth I am with that. But yeah, so this is the entirety of the farm. I really appreciate you guys sticking to the end of the video. I know I'm a little bit rambly right now, but this really does mean a lot to me that you guys watched all the way here. I'm just gonna say peace out. Please leave comments and suggestions in the comment section down below. Please like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Share it with your friends if you like it. Join the Discord channel. It's linked down below in the description. And thank you guys all so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. And peace out, everyone.